But yeah, sorry, US Marines. So you can get the US Marines in an LAUV or a Huey, which is actually cheaper, but then you know the LAUV that the other Marines come in is a pretty good vehicle. But yeah, so at this point the T-55s are storming in on this flank. I've been trying too much to push off on one side, and I have got a good flanking force in between them, so that could do some damage theoretically, but not that much. I also charged the Hueys in because the Hueys, I need to know what these Marines are facing with, because you know I've got them behind their lines. I don't think he's noticed, so I need to know what I should attack. So yeah, another jet attack. I think the plan of that attack was simply just try and hold off this tank, because the artillery is raining in the command vehicle. They actually got pretty unlucky to not kill it outright there. But yeah, I got my vehicle retreated. Still got the flanking force, which is something, but these tanks are in my base. If they'd gone for that command tank, that would have been easy picking, so I try and buy a few tanks to protect it, because you know they could well flank that way. So now the US Marines are going to strike gold. They've got round to the Cub without being spotted by the tanks, and they've also given me a few seconds of forewarning that a T-72 charge is coming. They are making an assault, trying to. I think they sense weakness, so they try and they're going to try and finish me off once and for all. For example, they know that this sector isn't captured, which means I can't bring in any quick reinforcements, so I can't react quickly to this attack. Fortunately for me, I think that these Marines could do it, because you know even if they aren't that much a threat to the T-72s, the fact that I've got units behind them might make them think twice before they attack. Elsewhere, I try and rush my tanks up because these Fago infantry are going to cause carnage. Fortunately, you know these tanks are still, these are the best tanks I can call on, but look at the amount of stuff they're facing there. Fortunately, as you can see, the T-72s are actually starting to retreat. I think they've got worried that they're going to lose their anti-aircraft defense, and I'm going to start bringing in, you know, Cobras and stuff to rain death upon them. So I think what they're doing is trying to kill my flanking force before they can kill their anti-aircraft defense. So it sort of postpones their attack, but once it's dead, there's no reason for them to stop. So AGM troops get killed before they fire off a missile. The Marines on the hill, again, just wrecked. T-55s are still in the town. This is going very badly for us. I think the scores are relatively level. Actually, no, I think that might be 3,000 points to 2,800, so we're losing at this point. Not much else to say at this point. I mean, the T-72s are just raining in. Fortunately, I do have the US Marines, which are all stationed in that town, a 4-pack of Marines. It's, you know, 15 infantry in each Marines unit. So a Marines unit has a lot of infantry in it, so they have quite a high amount of health, relatively speaking. And as you can see here, my basic tanks, my 20-point tanks, are inefficient against the T-72s, which is a really bad story for me. Fortunately, the T-55s, they're still easily killed. But yeah, the US Marines, they're still flanking around, capturing some colo supply trucks that could help them out, you know, resupply their RPGs or whatever. So now I'm bringing in the Sea Cobras. I don't have any more cheap Hellfire platforms. Well, I say cheap, they're 80 points, but Hellfires are powerful, remember. Let's see, US Marines are still taking a few hits. Another MiG's flying in. Hopefully my anti-aircraft can stop that. But yeah, I have got a few forces behind their lines, which might make them think twice. And now here comes the Sea Cobra. There's some Strelity infantry, but the Marines shoot them out, move them down quite quickly. And so now they're actually in a pretty precarious situation when you think about it, because the Sea Cobra, it's got 80 gems. T-72s can't really do much against it, and they don't really have much else in the area. So I thought this was a pretty good flank turning. Unfortunately, they're prioritizing the T-55 for some obscure reason, but I tell them to reprioritize, start firing your toes on those T-72s. Let's get them out of here, let's get them killed, let's turn this attack on them and push them back. And as you can see, I think I'm doing okay. Actually, I'm still doing relatively good in terms of points. Sea Cobras, though, is running out of ammo. I have to get it out of there, back to the FOB. Also before any serious anti-aircraft defenses turn up. However, I do have another Sea Cobra, but an SU-25 is coming in. Sea Cobras are very delicate, remember, so one's down before it can even do anything. Is the other Cobra going to go down? Looks like it. Yeah, it is. That's 2 Cobras down. So as you can see, my last Hawk is still firing stuff in vain, but it's only 1 missile system. It can damage them, it can slow them down, but I don't think it can stop them at this time. But yeah, so the counterattack has been successfully held, which I think is quite good. Unfortunately, they still have a lot of tanks in that area. But, you know, it's looking back, it's an unwise choice to buy those trucks. Also, now they're bringing in lots of infantry and another squad of T-72s to take out my Marines in the woods. My Marines get a quick ambush shot at them while they're still driving around, but it doesn't do much. And with the T-72s there, that's not going to be. It's not going to be good. So the US Marines have distracted the these guys, and the problem is, okay, the Cobras can get shot down very quickly. That is true, but it's the only system I have left. These T-72s beat any tank I have. This environment is too close quarters for my ATKMs, my TOWs, my ITOs, my infantry equipped with ATKMs. So the Cobra's only the only thing that can actually is effective in this environment. You know, it's just the unfortunate truth. It sucks, but what can you do? So basically my plan is to bring in the Cobras and do enough damage to their tanks. You know, hopefully the plan is bring the Cobras, fire a bunch of shots. Hopefully there's something. Also my allies are just mentioning that he's gone AFK. Another cat's coming in. Does Cobra survive? I think so. That's another thing I don't like about them in Wargame Airland battle. The text, I don't like it very much. But you know, that's just my personal opinion. It makes it quite hard to read. Another cat's coming in. Looks like a Cobra's going to go down. Yeah, there's a Sea Cobra down. But I'm just constantly respawning. At this point, I look to the Tomcat because these jets are doing a lot of damage. I don't have any anti-aircraft defense, so maybe I should save up and buy some air superiority fighters to clear up the skies, which would allow my Sea Cobras to do some attack. Retrospectively thinking, this is probably this thing I should have done at the start, because, you know, with their delicate and sparse anti-aircraft missile systems, I think the US Marine Corps really should rely more on their Air Force, and something I'd recommend. But from my history of RTS gaming, I've never really been a fan of air-to-air combat. Usually spawned from Ruse because I usually played as USSR, and if any of you know what the Ishak is, you'll understand why I don't use jets or planes. So yeah, Sea Cobra was flying in a bit too much, but as you can see, they've got a lot of key transports with machine guns. Remember, Cobras are perilously weakly armoured, which doesn't really help out their position that much. Just a few IFVs tore them apart and send them back to base. And now I can buy the Tomcat. So basically the Tomcat is a dedicated air superiority fighter. At least that's how I see it, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So it's pretty bad at attacking land units, but it can own most stuff in the air. So what I'm thinking is setting up a little bit of an ambush. Like maybe bring in a Sea Cobra, and when they send in their Su-25s to attack it, I knock it out with the Tomcat. Get some revenge. But I can't afford the Sea Cobras anymore, so I might as well just fly it in. Make him go like, oh, this guy's got Tomcats, he's doing well. So yeah, artillery's coming up. That means, you see, I put the US Marines in, they did a good ambush coming over the hill, you know, point blanking some T-72s, but yeah. So as you can see, they're actually even bringing in some of their own artillery. MiG Ledger encounters the Tomcat. Looks like the Ledger bought it, but the Tomcat also goes in for a stun on their anti-aircraft system. Basically my plan was, okay, so they have some artillery, probably Dana's, and some kind of anti-aircraft system, probably a Cub. If, you know, these two Marines, they still have about 3 M72 rockets left. If they can get lucky, they might be able to take it out. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm bringing up more Humvees. Basically got Rangers, good recon systems. But yeah, so here come the Marines, and you know, the plan's going well, but a few close range artillery blasts knock them out, which sucks. Yeah, the Rangers are still being attacked by infantry squads. There's a lot of infantry fighting going on here. Yeah, what's the score? I think it's 3,900 to about 5,000. No, it's 6,000. That's all. I can't see it. I mean, I don't know if it's my screen or Wait a sec, let me try this. There, that helps out. Yeah, okay, 5,000. Sorry, yeah. I just realised that I was looking at the minimised screen. So it's 4,000 to 5,000. My mistake. Anyway, so the Tomcat's still flying around. It's a good air superiority fighter. I like that. Calling a little airstrike on these guys, but seems to have scared them off. Su-25 comes in on the Tomcat. I think the Tomcat took a few AA fire, so I back it off. I still have the iHawk there, so I can do the job if necessary. I don't have that much stuff left. Most of my stuff's been killed by the constant fighting that's been going on. I'm actually doing the best in my team at the moment, 1,378 points. But yeah, I don't think the fight's been going my way a lot of the time. I know I normally show you games where I win and trash the enemy team because it makes me look good, but I chose this game to show you for the USMC. One, because I think it's the third game I played as them, and it's the only one that didn't crash. And two, this is a deeply flawed deck in my opinion, and I didn't really, can honestly say I didn't enjoy playing this deck. So, yep. There was actually a game where I did do pretty well with this one. Maybe I'm getting confused between the two. Like, I brought in some Tomahawks, and I was up in Golf, I was up in Echo, I was doing huge damage to them. But anyway, I probably would have chosen this game anyway, because as I said, this is not a deck I like. This is I think it's a flawed deck. It's got too many weaknesses. Yes, it's got like good infantry and a few other things to its name. Good recon, I think, is another advantage. Good air force. The USMC is a great air force, but I'm not an air force kind of guy, so this deck doesn't suit me at all. So yeah, at this point, more Super Cobras being brought in. I'm hoping my Tomcat might scare them away. I think my Tomcat's still being repaired. US Marines making another push on them. I mean, the US Marines don't seem to do that well. Oh great, here comes another Su-25. Oh, and there goes the Cobra. I definitely wasn't on form in this game because I'm not playing to my deck strength. I know that now, but it's still, you know, you can say, oh, I'm not playing to this deck strength. Well, maybe this deck doesn't suit my talent. See, Cobra got a lucky run in there. Well, it gets down. Oh no, it doesn't. It just managed to go out of units fuse. That's odd. So yeah, the Tomcat's there, bringing it back in. Crosshair, still trying to get it back in. So yeah, this time I think my ally, from what I remember him saying in the chat, like he was preparing a big charge on their position. As you can see on the map, he actually has secured quite a good part of the left. Oh yeah, so here's another thing. The Tomcat launched some air superiority missiles at the Su-25 and managed to stun it before the fight comes in. It's banking around for another attack. And yes, come on. Kill it. No, it's 2-on-1. And the air defense takes it out, but the Tomcat itself is taken out. But here comes my second Tomcat that I recently bought. Yeah, weren't expecting that Su-25, were you? Yeah, Su-25 down. That is essentially, you see that few last seconds? That was, in effect, Top Gun. You know, the F-14 Tomcats come in, run into two Su-25s. It's fighting them. One gets blown up by a missile, he gets taken down, and then his partner comes in to avenge him. That was pretty much. Actually, I've never seen Top Gun full to full, but I've seen clips of it, and I know what it is. And I think that's essentially Top Gun in a few seconds. Lots of get-on-get fighting, very action-packed. Brilliant finish, apart from the fact that the Soviet Union won. So yeah, I said that I'm a very good game because I don't usually, you know, even though I lost and I'm annoyed at losing, I can respect them. They were very good players. Full respects to 3 unpronounceable names. But yeah, so this has been Agent. I hope you enjoyed my evaluation of the USMC. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're a get kind of guy, you would definitely enjoy that. You would definitely enjoy the USMC deck if you're a get and helicopter kind of guy. But anyway, this has been Agent. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.